Hi guys, this week's video is about a really personal topic for me, gay teen suicide. It's a big thing in the media right now. It's happening way too often. I thought I would do sort of an it gets better video, only more about my personal story, because I feel like you can't really say it gets better unless you've lived through it, and this is something I have a lot of personal experience with. So, I've always liked girls. I am a lesbian, queer identified person, um, which basically means I'm a lesbian, but I don't distinguish my gender. So, um, when I was a kid, I went through some stuff that definitely affects who I am and how I live my everyday life, but it's nothing that I feel comfortable sharing with anybody, not just on the internet. I'm not going to talk about that. But my big issue with being a gay teenager and starting to not like myself because other people didn't like me started when I was 13. I began self-harming the summer before I turned 14. I started scratching myself, and then I started cutting myself. Eventually, I burned and bruised and beat myself to shit. I tried to break my bones. I gave myself concussions, hitting myself in the head with paint cans or off doors or walls. I stopped eating eventually. I binged and purged. I hated myself, and I still have a really hard time liking myself. At the same time, I was trying to come to terms with my sexuality. I've always liked females, like I said. I had my first crush when I was 3, but I was in denial about it growing up. I picked a guy in class every year, for as long as I could remember, to tell my friends that I had a crush on, because it made me feel normal. But I wasn't being me, so I guess it just made me feel like everybody else, which is no fun. So when I started trying to understand being someone who was attracted to other females, I decided that if I liked guys and girls, maybe people would still think I was okay. So I came out as bisexual when I was 15 to my mom and to my closest friends, and I started talking to people online, people as in other lesbians and bisexuals and stuff, so that I could find someone to relate to, because no one that I knew other than one of my cousins was gay. And I ended up dating a girl online who messed with my head a lot, and I ended up hating myself even more, but I clung to her for a few months. And then December 7th of 2008, I attempted suicide. I had tried it a couple times by slitting my wrists, and I was addicted to painkillers at that point, so I was taking 5 or 15 of those a day. But this time was pretty serious. I took 60 pills, a combination of Tylenol and ibuprofen, and I was hoping I wouldn't wake up the next morning. It was a Sunday night when I took them. I stayed home from school for the next 2 days pretending I had the flu. I was throwing up every half hour and sleeping in between because I couldn't drink, eat, or walk very much. Sorry. Tuesday night, my mom took me to the hospital, to the ER, because she figured something was really, really wrong. And I lied to the ER doctors and nurses and told them that I didn't know why I was sick. I told them that I had taken 4 Tylenol for a headache, but that otherwise I hadn't taken any medication. And it stayed like that for like a day and a half. I was admitted to the hospital. And on Wednesday afternoon, I think it was, the school guidance counselor called my mom on her cell phone while she was sitting in my hospital room and told her that she was worried I had done something to myself because two of my closest friends, who I love to death, told the guidance counselor that I had been contemplating suicide, which I had for quite some time. So my mom told the doctor, and then when they confronted me and I lied, my mom and I got in a fight, and I regret that a lot. But sorry, this is really hard. I spent 6 days in total at that hospital, and then I was sent to a psychiatric unit for adolescents at a different hospital for 9 days. I lied to them the whole time, which was a bad decision, but that's what happened. I was prescribed medication and had to do outpatient therapy and all this shit that I hated, but I did it. And eventually I got a little bit better. I lived with my brother and his fiance for 4 months, and that was good because I was not safe at home. I started dating my first real girlfriend, Megan, February of 2009. I got a new job. I finished high school. I started college the fall of 2010. That September of 2010, my mom and dad told us that they were getting a divorce. Megan and I broke up in October, which sucked, but at the same time, it was a good thing for both of us because we did not have a healthy relationship. I ended up flunking out of school that first semester, and I haven't gone back since, partly because I'm afraid to, and partly because I can't afford to. But yeah, I started getting worse again this year. I was cutting again. I was burning myself. I stopped eating and lost 40 pounds in 2 months. Which please don't do because it's not healthy and it sucks. In August this year, I cut myself really badly, and I told my therapist that I needed to go to a hospital because I wasn't safe. And she told me that if that's what I felt, then I should go. So I did. I checked myself into an adult psychiatric unit for 2 weeks, and I got some new medication and a different psych evaluation, and I actually talked to my family a little bit about how I was feeling, which was a big deal. I feel like I get put down a lot about being gay and about myself in general and by my family and other people, and that's hard. So, but I got to tell them those things, and I've never done that before, and it helped a lot. So 2 months after getting out of the hospital, I'm doing much better. Every day is a struggle, but it gets better in time, you know? So I want you all to keep trying, and I want you to remind everybody you care about that you love them and that they mean something to you, because not everyone hears that enough. So, yeah, sorry. I'm uncoordinated. I guess that's all, mostly. I'll have the suicide hotline number for the USA and my personal email and my Facebook link in the box down there. And if you ever need anything, feel free to contact me. I'm here for anybody, no matter what your sexuality or race or religion or background, or you have a baby, or you're 8 feet tall, or you like to chew on random things. I don't really care what you do, or who you are. I still love every person that there is in the world, and I think everybody deserves a chance. So, feel free to message me anytime. And if you're in an emergency, call 911. Be honest with the people that you're around because you need help. You deserve help. Yeah. And that's it, I guess. Sorry I make things so awkward and long, but take care of yourselves and find a reason to smile every day. I had a friend in high school who meant a lot to me, who used to tell me to keep shining, and that's what I want all of you to do. So, keep shining.